Hello, it's October. I've got a pumpkin, and today I'm going to show you how to make use of every single part of your pumpkin. If you're new here, I make zero waste and sustainability focused videos, and sometimes I cook. That's what we're going to be doing today, so let's get into it. There's a few things you can do with your pumpkin. Today I'm going to show you how to roast the seeds, make a soup, and then create a compostable jack-o'-lantern with the leftovers. First thing we're going to do is cut off the top to get inside. I have this pumpkin cutter from last year left over, but you can use just a regular knife as well, as long as it's serrated. And when you're doing this, make sure that you're getting a big enough circle to fit your whole hand in to get the guts out, and try to do it at an angle so it'll slip on easy. Top's off. Now I'm gonna go grab a bowl for the guts. I'm just gonna grab all the guts out with the seeds in them, just so we get down to a smoother surface on the inside. Now that I've removed the seeds and most of the guts, we're gonna put the top back on the pumpkin and put this to the side while we deal with the seeds. So this is what the seeds are looking like right now, full of those like pumpkin stringy parts. So I'm gonna put some cold water in here. This helps the stringy parts separate from the seeds. Just give it a little like shake, and then we can pull these seeds out a little bit easier. And this part we're not going to be using at all, so it'll go straight in the compost bin. Let me go grab it real quick. I have these compost bags that I collect my compost in, and then I toss it in that thing over there, my Lomi. Compost, putting that to the side for now. I strained the seeds and gave them another rinse so they're all nice and clean. Now we're going to bring a pot of water to a roaring boil. Water is boiling. We're going to go ahead and drop in our pumpkin seeds, along with some salt. And we're going to let these cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. If you want to skip this step and roast your seeds right out of the pumpkin, that's totally fine as well. I just do this because I feel like it helps the pumpkin seeds cook more evenly. I put the bowl under the strainer so I can catch the water and use this to water my plants. Grab a baking sheet, spread on the pumpkin seeds evenly, and sprinkle some more salt. Make sure you get it evenly on all of the seeds. Now we're going to pop these in the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now that they're done roasting, we can pop them into a jar with an airtight lid. These are great as a snack, a salad topper, or even on top of soup. They're a great earthy addition to pretty much anything, and in this jar they'll probably last about a month. Now that we're done with our pumpkin seeds, let's move on to the next recipe, the pumpkin scrap soup. The first step in this pumpkin soup process is to scrape out the flesh. So we're going to take off the top, use a very strong spoon, and scrape out as much of the flesh as we can get into this bowl. Now we're going to set this aside and get to the veggie part of the soup. We're going to chop up a yellow onion, some garlic, and some carrots, and these are a little soft and on their way out, so they're going to be perfect for soup. All the scraps are going to go in the compost bag. Now that everything's chopped up, we're going to add enough olive oil to coat the bottom of a pan. This is what it's looking like. And over medium heat, we're going to add in the carrots, onion, and garlic. Along with the onions, carrots, and garlic, we're going to add in some freshly cracked pepper and some salt. We're going to cook this for about 8 minutes or until the onions start to look translucent. So this is a spice blend of 1 teaspoon each of cumin, paprika, chili powder, sage, and allspice. We're going to let this cook for just another minute to let the spices fully incorporate. Now that those spices have had a minute to get mixed in, we're going to add in our vegetable scrap stock. So these are some ice cubes of the veggie scrap stock that I most recently made. I have a video on how to make veggie scrap stock. I'll link it up here if you're interested in that. If not, you can always use some veggie stock from the store, but this is just another way to lower your food waste. And we're going to add in 5 cups of this. Along with the vegetable scrap stock, we're going to add in a can of coconut cream. And the star of the show, the pumpkin. We're going to bring this up to a simmer and cook for about 15 minutes or until everything has softened. It is looking pretty scary right now, but once everything's cooked, it'll look a lot better, and we're going to blend it anyways. So as long as we have good flavor, that's all that matters. This is what it looks like after 15 minutes of simmering. The soup has cooled down a little bit, so now we're going to blend it. I have this small NutriBullet, so it's going to be in batches for me, but if you have like a large Vitamix, that would probably work a little bit better. But I have this bowl that I'm going to put it in, so I'm going to, yeah, let's do it. So here's the soup all done. You can even add a little bit of the pumpkin seeds as a nice garnish. Voila! All the scraps from making the soup, we can go ahead and add it to my compost bin. So I'm going to start this up and we'll look at the result tomorrow. It's the next morning. Let's see what the compost is looking like. Pretty awesome. It's the next morning. We have our pumpkin seeds, pumpkin seed water, and soup in the fridge. That's all done. Now it's time to carve this pumpkin. So I'm just gonna go freehand and do a classic jack-o'-lantern face. Here is the completed jack-o'-lantern, and the pieces that I cut out, so like the mouth and the eyes, these are gonna go in the compost bag and wait for this thing to kind of rot a little bit. And when this is too gross to be sitting on the doorstep, we're gonna cut it up, also put it with this, and make some more compost. Because sending your pumpkin to the landfill is just about the worst thing you can do with it. So let's recap a little bit of what we got. First thing we did was pull out the seeds and insides of the pumpkin, and we roasted those seeds to make a great snack. Second, we made about 5 servings of pumpkin soup. From the leftovers of the guts that we didn't use for the soup or the pumpkin seeds, we made some compost, which is great to add into your house plants. Along with the compost, we saved the water that we used when boiling the pumpkin seeds. So it's a great addition to go along with the compost and really get some good nutrients into your plants. I often do this with a lot of water from boiling like corn and other vegetables. It's a great way to save the water from just going down the drain and also benefiting your plants. Lastly, we have the star of the show. What we did with the actual pumpkin is make it into a jack-o'-lantern, which will sit outside for a few days, maybe even a week, until it starts to break down. Then we'll bring it back inside, cut it up, and make it into some more compost. So it's been about a week or so now, and as you can tell, this is very rapidly decaying and decomposing. Ooh! Alright, so I'm going to cut this up and then we're going to put it in the compost. I grabbed a paper bag, so I'm gonna cut this open and lay it out before we get to chopping up Mr. Jack-o'-lantern over there. Compost bucket to toss the pieces into, and a bread knife. I think that'll work the best. I don't know. It's at the fill line now, so I'm gonna go run this cycle for this to turn this into compost. I'm still gonna break down the rest of this pumpkin. This is the result of the compost of the pumpkin. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be using any of the tips I shared with you in this video, or if you have anything else you'd like to add. I'd love to hear about it. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I come out with new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and a whole bunch of shorts in between, so keep your eye out for those, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye! And don't forget to compost your pumpkin.